I wish I knew how to quit you.
Then why don't you?
You're listening to Codependent Content, the podcast where we discuss the TV shows, movies, books, and video games in which we share an unhealthy relationship.
They wouldn't even kill an ant.
No matarían ni a una hormiga.
¿Y no es malo valorar igual a un hombre que una hormiga?
And isn't it evil to value a man the same as an ant?
My name is Mattias. Join us as we try to unravel the characters, stories, and worlds that we are entangled with. Because just when we think we're done with content, it draws us back in.
Welcome back, everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And happy birthday.
And happy birthday to
And
me.
happy birthday. I thought your birthday, you kept saying it was the 24th. I wrote it down as the 24th. It was in my calendar.
I don't know why we do that. It's
Yeah.
definitely, so for those who don't know, my birthday is on Christmas Day. Now, I did mention to you, I was technically born on Christmas Day on the East Coast at like 2:30 a.m., which technically, now that I live on the West Coast, I was like, technically I was born at like 11:30 p.m. on the West Coast on the 24th.
I was
so
confused.
what day am I? so technically, like, when should I celebrate my birthday was always, because I've always celebrated on Christmas, obviously. But it is weird to think about the time zone. I'm so close to the time, to different times. I guess it's always the same. I guess in Australia I was born on a different day too.
Exactly.
So I don't
like
think
the international dateline. Speaking of, it's like lost. It's like you don't. Where were you born in time? Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I wished you happy birthday twice.
You
and a
did.
TikTok comment on the actual day, and then I texted you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was very confused.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
And then I was like, no, you weren't.
I'm sorry. I did that.
But,
no,
yeah.
everyone, hate to break it to you, but your Lord and Savior was born on Christmas Day, not on Christmas Eve. So, am I your Lord and Savior? Who knows? Verdict's out. According to the TikTok comments and the people who want to ban podcast equipment, not at all.
Please. Listen, that's why I don't have a podcast. I'm like, you know what? I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy enough for the mic. You know?
Yeah.
The comments keep me humble. They really do. They really do. I love the comments. You know what? Honestly, actually, I want to pitch you this. For the next show, we should have a comment corner where we go through the comments. Yeah, but like the good ones and the bad ones.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. We really should. Because Night of the Seven Kingdoms is going to be wild.
Yes.
It's going to be wild. So,
well, we'll see. We certainly hope so. We'll have to see. I was going to bring up some comments. I have some comments pulled up, actually. And as I often do.
Okay, let's do it.
Because I thought these were a lot of fun. Yeah, I have these comments pulled up from last episode. Two separate comments that called me and you out respectively.
But this is YouTube.
This is YouTube, which has the best comments, in my opinion.
Okay, let's do it.
The emails are better. We get emails.
Yeah.
We got another good email from Suzanne.
Hi,
Great
Suzanne.
fucking email.
Love you.
But the YouTube comments are where it's at. Okay. So this first comment, great show. Also, if I took a drink every time Mattias said penultimate instead of penultimate, I would have alcohol poisoning.
That's very funny.
Because here I am for my entire life just thinking it was penultimate for some reason.
Oh, there's no T?
There's no T.
I heard you too. I was like, okay.
And it's actually penultimate.
Yeah.
So I was wrong in that one. But also, get out of here. Get off my back.
Very funny.
I have one for you.
Oh, here we go. Tell me. And it was this last episode too?
Yes.
I was drunk. So please tell me.
You're going to love this one, Natalie. Great episode. But Prosecco turns it into the But-Like podcast.
Yes. I knew it. I felt it immediately. I didn't eat. I was like, and we just like immediately, all I had was coffee and Prosecco, no water.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. I felt it. I was like, I slowed down because I was like, I can't. Like, I can't. I've never like drank on camera. Either.
Fair comments from.
Oh my God!
from
Yes, please.
from the YouTube
I love.
community.
That's the thing. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
I love a roast. Roast me as a person. Don't be like, this show isn't about women. It's like, you're a moron. Like, that you're an idiot. Roast me for my hair. Like, roast me. I'm always touching my hair. I was like, my brain was like all over the place. Roast me for shit like that.
Yes,
I loved it.
absolutely.
I love that. I love
We don't
that.
mind a good ribbing every now and then, you know?
Yeah.
These made
it.
me laugh out loud. I did defend you that like when we at least gave you coffee the week before, you were on it. So when I made you fresh coffee.
That's right. Yeah. Very good coffee. Very good coffee.
To be fair, they could have been talking about me. I do also, but like a lot.
Oh. I need to practice that. I really need to practice.
It's weird because I try to practice speak good, and leave out filler words,
Yeah.
but I don't hear them
Yeah.
when we're in the middle of conversation. Yeah,
We're just having a conversation, and my TikTok videos are I script them out and they're very edited. So I remove the likes. I remove the ums. I always do.
If you ever see us,
remove the breaths. Like, I don't even. Yeah.
I don't think you'll realize how much work it takes for me to put together some of these clips for TikTok and stuff, because I literally will edit out so much stuff. And there's a lot of times where I'm like, why do I keep, when you're talking and I'm always like, yeah.
I do the same thing to you. I do the exact same. I like listen. I'm like, oh, that's so annoying. It's because we're having a conversation. Like, we're talking. Like, I'm not scripting out a 2-hour pod here. Like, you know what I mean? We just flow.
Mm-hmm.
Just flowing, diva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I loved those comments, so keep them coming.
Yes.
I'm glad. That was a pretty popular episode, actually. We got almost like 200 views on that one, so people are really engaging with that last episode,
Nice.
which I'm glad people are around, especially, I think, maybe finally the haters have quieted down. We're getting near the end, too, so
Yeah, maybe
only
they're
the
tired.
loyalists alive.
I mean, it was a holiday,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
they were feeling generous. They were feeling nice.
Yeah.
But I will say on Instagram they were not. So
never are.
No.
Okay, we mentioned it already briefly, but I did want to bring up the fact that like we are talking about Pluribus, the season finale today. It's the end of Pluribus.
thank God.
I'll be honest, this has been an exhausting experience just from the comment.
Yeah.
The show that we're watching is definitely different from the show I think other people are watching. I'm so confused. It's been so exhausting to talk about it. I will have to see where we're at in, I don't know, a year or two when the next season comes out and whether or not I want to talk about the next season, which I'm sure we will. We had such a good time talking about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. If you guys are, if the people are going to be jerks online, I'd rather not.
Yeah. I mean,
just,
I think for me, if we don't, I will continue to talk about things. I took a very long break. I'm still on the break technically. Because the comments, it's not
eating.
So I did take a break. It's not that the comments were hurting my feelings or anything like that. It's just that you get tired of reading negative things over and over and over again of people attacking your character. Mind you, you should not read all the comments. And I say that all the time, but they sneak in, or, sometimes there's a fight going on, like how we mentioned, just people debating in the comment section, right? And also, as a creator, you should be engaging with the comments. You should be engaging with people. So I got very overwhelmed by the negativity, by the rudeness, the disrespectfulness, and quite honestly, the lack of critical thinking. It makes you, like how you're just saying, it makes you feel like you're the crazy person, right? It's like, I'm not. So I'm back. It's how to take a break, but we're back, Diva.
Yeah.
New year, new me.
So we'll see how this goes. I can't wait to hear all your thoughts, guys, on the finale. If you're coming back for season 2, guys, if you're not, that's fine. But let us know. Do you want us to talk about season 2 when it eventually comes out? With this kind of show, it seems like it's an expensive show. It's probably going to be another 2 years before we see anything anyway. So life,
very
a
expensive
lot of
show.
life is going to happen before we get there, I am sure. But in the meantime, Natalie, you are coming back. We hinted at it already. You're coming back for another show.
Yeah.
Our next thing that we're going to talk about. Do you want to tell them what we're going to talk about?
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We will be talking about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Colon, a Game of Thrones story, hashtag. I know what is the subtitle for
Game of Thrones universe. If you fucking bite me again, ho. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, AT, whatever. It's gonna be good. They're always good. You know, House of the Dragon second season was touch and go. I liked it still, regardless.
I love House of the Dragon. I think people are enjoying hating on House of the Dragon for some reason. Maybe they're just spent from the last season of Game of Thrones, and they're just like, I'm just over it now, you know?
Yeah.
And then there's, of course, the George R. R. Martin of it all. It's like, yes, great, we get House of the Dragon, but where's the other books? You know,
Right,
it's like, stop making more shows.
I have zero comment on that. I let that man do what he wants. He's a grown adult. He knows what the tea is. I don't know. I will say he is literally a living legend. Like, we have a great living among us right now, and he's still producing things. He's still making things. It might not be the things that we want, but I haven't read the books. I think I read the first one maybe, but I don't care. I'm like, whatever. I don't even want to read Fire and Blood because it's going to spoil House of the Dragon. Like, that's where I'm at.
I did read Fire and Blood. I was holding off, but I eventually, and I thought I was going to stop when I got to the section. And I was like, no, I'm just enjoying it too much. So I went ahead and read it.
It does sound, definitely sounds like my cup of tea for sure.
But I have not read Dunk and Egg. So
And
I
those
know
are more-
nothing about,
And those are more like contained,
It's a novella.
Right.
Which I believe is also a graphic novel, or they turned it into a graphic novel, which is really cool. So I don't know if you can read and get the same gist of it in either or, you know? But there's already been an adaptation of this, which is interesting. I'd be curious how that compares with the show of it all.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to talking about that. When I originally wanted to bring you on to the podcast, it was very much, we were like, what show would we want to talk about? And this was our very first thing was we need to talk about Game of Thrones. This was supposed to come out this year.
And it didn't.
In fall or something. And it didn't. We're getting House of the Dragon and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
I know. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited.
So it's a good time to be a nerd. And so this is exactly where we want you to be. It will be interesting to talk about because it will not be like any other Game of Thrones show. It's going to be 30-minute episodes, and I believe there's only 6.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a short.
Yeah.
That's a short runtime.
Yeah. I'm very curious. It's not. I don't know how they're. I'm used to Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon having a lot of intrigue and a lot of will they, won't they? A lot of like romantic plots. I don't think this one will be very romantic centric either. I don't think there's a lot of power play here. So it's I'm very curious. You know, I'm extremely curious.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to talk about it because it's definitely a different kind of show than I'm used to bringing onto the podcast. I love these kinds of things, but it's also like, this is entertainment first. This is very genre filmmaking, the fantasy world. And, you know, I don't think I'm going to be coming up with, you know, these hot, like, this is actually anxiety in the form of a person, you know, like, I don't know if that kind of thing's going to happen. So I might have to have you take the lead on like where we go with this. Cause you know, I'm going to enjoy it, you know, and I want to talk about it. Might be shorter episodes for us too, because of that, you know, which is perfectly fine.
Yes.
Perfectly reasonable. So maybe it'll just be a little kind of break from our normal philosophizing.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys are too. And then we'll have to figure out, I'll have to figure out what's next for the pod or what's going on after those 6 weeks are up. Because I don't know what's coming out after that. It's always hard because when things overlap too, to figure out, well, I only have time for like one pod a week, guys. I can only do so much until I get paid for this. I need to choose wisely, you know?
Yes.
So, but yeah, that's what we're talking about next. And looking forward to that. Hope to see you guys there. As always, feel free to let me know. Email us, comment on what you think we should watch, if anything else, or what you guys are into, and what you want to hear from us, you know?
Let us know.
Yeah. Shall we talk about Pluribus?
Yeah, let's do it.
Is there any other things? I'm trying to think. I don't have anything written down feedback wise. Or you know what? I should, I guess, mention a few things I have. Have you been watching anything? I've been catching up on a lot of movies.
I've been watching
over the
Mad Men.
holidays. You've been watching Mad Men. I've been trying to catch up on my end of year like movie lists.
Oh, okay.
I've watched a lot. You know, I watched Avatar: Fire and Ash. That was a fun experience as always.
Mm-hmm.
I think go see it on the big screen. It's like he went to Pandora and just shot these real creatures doing it. It's so wild. Is it a good movie? Probably not.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, they're not great. They need to figure out something on the writing level. But you know, it is what it is. Also, a lot of you are very into this new character, Varong, and saying like she's the greatest villain we've had in a while. And I don't know if that's true. I think all of you are just incredibly horny. I think that's it.
Yeah. Yes.
Y'all were just turned on. And
Yes.
that's as much as I'll say about that. What else have I watched? I finally caught up on If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Oh, yeah.
Very intense movie. I also watched Marty Supreme over the holidays, and I feel like the anxiety that I felt was missing in Marty Supreme, the thing that I really wanted out of that movie, and I felt like got kind of lost from its runtime, went directly into If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly like where I wanted it. And I was like, oh, this movie is relentless. It's just nonstop. And I felt so much for that character. It was wild, you know? Those extreme close-ups too, which I typically hate in movies, was justified here, you know, to like put you in this closed world of this person. It was intense. It was an intense watch. But yeah, I watched Mars Express. If you guys are into sci-fi like I am, you should definitely go watch Mars Express. It's an animated film that came out, I think, in 2023. I'm a little late on this one. Maybe 2024 actually. And it's like a new sci-fi idea or concept every 5 minutes, in a True Detective style, or even a Ghost in the Shell style kind of, what's the word? Wrapping paper, you know? It's real interesting, detective work. And then, the sci-fi stuff is on another level. Good animation too. Really great animation. Yeah, I don't know. Those are a few things that I've been catching up on. I downloaded a bunch more so I can catch up on the things that I can't even see in theaters for some reason, because nothing's in theaters and I can't get tickets to them.
Yeah.
Like around here where I live. So I'm trying to get through everything before the end of the year so I can figure out what my top 10 of the year kind of list is, or whatever that looks like. Cause sometimes I try and do something. We'll see. Anyway. And you've just been watching Mad Men.
That's all I've been watching. I think I'm on the season 3 finale.
Did you have anything you want to say about Marty Supreme? Because I know you saw it.
No, I don't actually. I actually really don't. I can't, because they'll start hating me in the comments. So.
I didn't like the movie. So if that helps you at all, I was very much like, I think it was the most pretentious. It was one of the most pretentious movies I've ever seen, like on a filmmaking level.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, we can do this because we're going to do this because we can.
Yeah.
Like there's really no reason for half the things that happen. And when it comes from the same people who did Uncut Gems and Good Time, and these were very tight, you know, anxiety inducing movies. And it's like, this wanted to be that, but then it goes on for 2.5 hours. And I'm like, it's way too much. Yeah. They needed to cut out like half of that stuff.
I agree. Actually, I thought it was way too long. I thought it was way too long. I when I was in the theater, I was like, I couldn't didn't even believe how long it was. I was like, why isn't this ending?
Yeah.
I saw it. They're never going to invite me to anything. I did see it. It was a special screening.
Yeah.
And I got invited through like some like influencer agency thing or something. I forgot what it was. And yeah, it was free. It was early December, and it was at the I think it was the SAG theater, the WGA theater. I forgot what it was. It's a really nice theater in Beverly Hills. And, or maybe it was a DGA theater. No, it wasn't. It was SAG or WGA. Either way, it was a beautiful theater. And they gave us swag, little like tennis ping pong balls at the end. Hi, sweetheart. It was really nice. The whole experience was nice. The movie was a movie. That was not, it was not for me.
No.
That movie was so not for me.
No.
And I was like sitting there like, when will it end?
Yeah.
So yeah, but no comment though.
No.
I like the ping pong balls. Those
I don't
are
mind.
cute.
I don't mind commenting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that the main tagline is like be great or think great or something like that.
Yeah.
It's you know, or dream big or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, sure, that's an interesting theme to play with, but they don't have like an actual like counter argument to that. They don't show like dreaming. There's no consequences for any of these there's no actual, it's weird that he also doesn't really succeed in dreaming big. Like, I don't get it. Like, there's no success or failure in any of that. It's just like things happen in this movie, and I'm like confused on like the themes are like so all over the place, and they introduce like different themes all throughout. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is what we're going to see what this is about. And it doesn't end up being anything. And I'm so confused. I'm like, what exactly am I supposed to get out of this movie? And I get like, it's fun. Like the marketing, I guess, is fun because Timothy is choosing to play his character. Now I realize that it's all satire. Like he's seemingly marketing by being that person with the interviews and everything. And I'm like, okay, that's fun. And there's an interesting character here. And I think he does I think everyone does performance-wise a fantastic job with what they're given and what they're doing. I think Odessa is actually amazing here. After really only seeing her in I Love LA, I thought she did an actual great job here. And I'm glad for that. And I think she's going to be like one to watch with other stuff.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Timothy does a pretty serviceable job. I don't think he's as believable as, say, he doesn't disappear into this like kind of character in the way that Adam Sandler does in Uncut Gems. I don't think it's the same kind of performance.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we can transition into talking about the show. I don't think it was successful. It's supposed to be an anti-hero. It's supposed to be an unlikable person. But I don't think that a character like that can carry an entire movie for 2.5 hours. When there's no ebb and flow, give and take with that character. You kind of follow him too, and he's pretty despicable. He's very unlikable. He's awful to every single person that he meets. And I don't understand how you are supposed to root for a person like that. Like with Mad Men, Breaking Bad, Pluribus, you have empathy for them. Even Don Draper, right? You do have some sort of empathy for that character because he's been through so much in his life. And same with Carol.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like she's very unlikable, but there are so many moments with her where you really do feel her, right? With that character, you don't have a single moment like that. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I love Carol.
I thought there was gonna be one moment. There was a moment where it seemed to be commenting on like the rich versus the poor, and power versus not having power. Yeah. And I was like, there's a good commentary here, but then they go over it and then don't do anything with it. Yeah. And so that was where I was like, okay, I might feel now why this character is the way he is. because this makes sense in this kind of world, in this post-war kind of thing where the rich are just getting richer and and he is trying to find any way he can to like just stay ahead. But there is no sympathy for him because it doesn't delve actually into that at all. It never gives us any reason for him to be why he is. Whereas, as you said, Carol, we do learn to love because we eventually get those things, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, good, I guess, segue. We do love Carol and she does potentially change and we do get a little bit of empathy with her. And we'll see at the end of this episode, do we believe Carol is changing or on the right track, or is she, are we on her side or are we not? Where are we with Carol? We'll see. Let's stop talking about Marty Supreme.
Yes, please.
And let's talk about Pluribus episode 9, the finale of what am I saying? Words. Titled The Girl in the World, or in Spanish,
La Chica o el Mundo.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
I didn't want to butcher anything, and we all love it. Also, we love it when you speak Spanish.
Oh, we do. We do as a society.
I think it's great.
Great.
And I love
doing
it. What are your general thoughts on this episode?
I liked it. It was great. It was, I think that we knew what was going to happen. So I think I did feel a tiny bit underwhelmed, but I still loved all the performances. I loved how things played out. I loved every character, just the basics. It's a great show. Carol's very interesting in this. Carol's very, that little journey. She's always on a journey. She's always doing something. She's always figuring things out at 51 years old. But anyway, aren't we all? I'm 39. I'm still figuring things out.
And I just turned 39. So
yeah, there you go. Well, I'll be 39 in 6 weeks. Yeah.
We're almost 40. And yes, it is a journey.
We're still figuring it out. So Carol's very relatable.
It has more to do with society than anything else. But Carol had things figured out. I think that's the whole point. Carol had things figured out.
Well, she thought she did.
And then the world changed. Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And then the world changed.
Yeah.
So to be fair, this journey kind of makes sense. Oh no, what filler words are we going to get now?
I'm pulling a Carol or a Don Draper, I should say.
But yeah, okay, so you enjoyed this episode. Did you enjoy it as a finale?
No, I didn't enjoy it as a finale. It didn't feel like a finale. That's another thing. I'm wondering if they had to cut it short. Maybe not. It didn't feel like a finale to me. But it's okay. I'm very okay. I'm very satisfied with it though. But yeah, what did you think?
I really liked this episode.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I do think, obviously we have a lot of thoughts of details we're going to talk about. I think that it structurally it started the way that it ended the way that it started. This show has been showing us exactly what it is, I think. And it's Vince Gilligan is doing some amazing stuff. I feel safe saying after this episode and after this season finale, I'm like, okay, Vince Gilligan is back. He's giving us something
oh my God, yeah.
that we haven't seen before. That is just, I'm locked in for however many seasons we're going to go with this.
Very same.
At least in terms of watching it. Will we talk about it? I don't know. But I'm very much here for whatever Vince Gilligan is doing. And I think this is a really good, and this is just another very solid episode. As a finale, it does feel like right when it's going to get started, it kind of ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is frustrating a little bit in that way, but also a lot happened. And sure, it's leaving me wanting more, which is great,
Yeah.
I think it also leaves a lot open for the future, which we can talk about in terms of like what they could do. Like it closes off. it closes off very neatly in a way that, great, we get a lot of our questions answered. We've got a new status quo, and now we can move on. There could be a time jump. There could be a whole bunch of different things that can happen in between, where we're not left with like, no, we need to go back to this and figure out like, no, I don't think, so there's a clean break where it's like, okay, the next season could be, again, whatever you want, which is, as with Vince Gilligan, it's just good writing, right? Yeah. It's just good writing. Yeah. They're really good at putting together these writers' rooms, and Vince Gilligan doing this thing where he's just a writer. He's writing for writers too. I think that's always been true about Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. He's writing for actors. He's writing for writers. He's writing for filmmakers. There's just so much that they get to play with and to do. And he doesn't put himself into a box. And with most things, you end up like, is there going to be a plan? Like with Lost, we have these things where it's like, oh, there wasn't a plan and maybe they went off the rails kind of thing. And he does the same thing. He did it with Breaking Bad. They didn't know where the show was going to go. I mean, Jesse was supposed to die in the first season, right? They didn't know where Better Call Saul they knew where it was going to end because obviously they had the, it was a prequel, right? And they had to get there, but at the same time, they had ultimately everything to play with, and that was what was very interesting, when I was like, oh, with this show is like so predictable, like how do, like, we know what's going to happen. So how is it going to be interesting at all? And end up being like one of the best shows on television. I think here it's like, okay, you have anything you can do. And we have no idea now at all. It's been years since we've had anything new from him. And I think this is just, again, just showing like how much fun, how good he is at like developing these shows and developing these characters and allowing us to be on a journey where it's like not predictable, and yet he always sticks to landing with everything. I don't know. There's a whole lot I can say. It's like, it's just like, it's always there. We could do a lot by like analyzing like how he writes and what they do with in these writings rooms, because I'm always so in awe of like how they do these things. Right. Cause I do feel like the themes that we talked about, like we went on a journey. I feel like I was going to talk about this later, like our season thoughts, like as a whole, but I guess like we're here now. Like, yeah, let's do that. We went on this full ass journey with Carol, including us, of like, this is where she is. This is where she's starting. Like, this is going to be her arc. And like, we get there, we see this arc and we see things happen. And then we see by the end of this where, after that arc, there's still more to be told, that there's still something else that can happen. And I don't know what the arc is for next season, but it leaves open for a new thing, a new arc, right. As opposed to like, we're just getting the beginning of this arc and the beginning of these things, or the beginning of the story. And this is what they're going to be telling over like 5 seasons or whatever. And it feels frustratingly, not finished or like I said before, like it's just a prologue or it's just a stepping off point. It's like, no, we got a complete arc. I feel like we got completions to this one season. It can stand alone if you left it alone. If you didn't do another season, this could stand alone. Definitely. As a great, definitely amazing character pieces, a great first season. Yeah, I like that, especially in a world of franchises or whatever, where it doesn't, we don't always have a clean break from that. That's where I said a whole lot of not even being sure what I was trying to say there, but I hopefully people got that.
I thought it was like you said, I agree with you. I think it was a wonderful arc of a show, which is just Carol's journey. We should have called it Carol's journey. I'm kidding. But yeah, I loved the whole thing. I really thought it was such a solid first season. I am being so serious. I love that at the end, Manusos is there, and that season 2, it's just going to be both of them. It's going to be like the Carol and Manuso show. Like the buddy comedy that
they're neighbors now. You know?
Yeah. It's going to be like a buddy comedy.
Yeah.
It's just going to be so funny, so good. And yeah, I'm really excited. Like this whole setup has made me so excited for season 2 and what they're going to bring. So I think that it is like you said earlier, it was a prologue a prologue. So yeah.
I was saying it's interesting because I think a lot of first seasons nowadays end up being prologues, especially these high concept shows, right? Where you have to set up like the world and everything that's going on and you don't know what the show is actually going to be until like season 2. I mean, we used to give shows some time, right? To figure out their footing, Yeah.
On network TV. Yeah.
And so that's not an abnormal thing to do, but I think most first seasons nowadays I've watched, I can't think of anything that comes to mind off the top of my head, but there have been seasons where I'm like, oh, that just ends up being like a prologue. Right. And then they do a cliffhanger. And I'm like, oh, okay. So now season 2, like this was when the show finally is what it is.
Yeah,
but I think this one doesn't feel so much like that because it felt like it had such strong footing from the very beginning. I think it's known what it's wanted to be. I think we were just all kind of like catching up to it of what show
Definitely.
it was trying to be. It feels very confident in its filmmaking and the way it's telling the story that it's just, you know what I'm saying?
I think, and I think that it feels like something that was well thought out, like, and it knows exactly where, but I will say there was a lot of setup. Like there was a lot of like figuring out what this world is, letting us know what this is, like very much episode by episode. We are also putting like the puzzle pieces together of what world they are trying to build, like what world the creator is trying to build here, right? And he's like very meticulously in each episode plotting it out so that we have a sense of what's going on. And I think like this last episode really like just put a stamp on this is what's happening.
Yeah.
What are these characters going to do next? And we definitely know now.
Yeah. So, I think there's a lot of setup in the world building of it all, but not so much in like the character building of it all. Whereas like we still got like really good character developments like in this. Like, again, we got journeys for both of our main characters now that I feel like whereas most shows nowadays, like by the time they set up, it feels like the inciting incident for the character usually comes at the end of the first season where now they're starting their journey. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's happened here. I think I don't think she's just now starting. Right. I think she went through a whole different thing, which is why I say it doesn't feel as like prologue-y as like most first seasons that we've been getting, So yeah, I think it's just been, I just thought it was solid.
Yeah, solid. I agree. Very solid.
So yeah, very, very, very great finale, I think. And let's talk about it.
Yeah,
let's get into the details. So we start off with, I don't remember how it's pronounced, but I have it written down. Kutsamayu.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
The young village girl, I'll say, which we speculated that she's going to want to join the hive. And that's what's happening here is today's the day. Today's the day that she's going to join the hive and they're going through life as normal. But we get this whole journey of the stem cell, whatever thing that's happened. We get through the plane. It comes to them. She takes care of a goat. They do a whole ceremony of it. And she joins the hive, from the very beginning of the sequence, like everything is like so beautiful, right? Yeah. And it's so beautiful, which juxtaposes what happens later when she actually joins. But it's beautiful and it's like scenery. It's beautiful and it's like the culture, right? We're getting these like everything that they're wearing. I'm like, oh, there's so much like color and like they're speaking like their language and the singing that's going on. I'm like, this is so amazing. I'm like, I know it's all performance for this like one person, but I'm like, the hive is like, at least still like embracing like this part of this community, which I thought was like really awesome. You know, we're getting to see like a peek into this little community thing.
Yeah.
Which again, I thought was like so beautiful. And then the singing happens and they're doing the ceremony. I was like, oh, they're not just going to just give it to her and go. I was like, they're making a thing of it. But then as soon as she joins, the singing stops. And I'm like, oh no. Like it's so devastating and like heartbreaking. And that it's like the moment like culture died. It's like the moment, this is like the last anyone's going to see of this village, the last anyone's going to see of these people. And I was like devastated. It was like a big blow that was struck. And the way that they do that and the way they shoot it, I thought was like so beautiful and then so heartbreaking, like near the end. Like just that was crazy for me. That was a crazy experience and journey to go on, you know. I think that, you know, a lot of people have been like, you guys really love the Hive. And I'm like, no, I don't. This is why I don't like this part. You know, I really don't like this part of the Hive. It would be, it's rough. It's rough. I don't know. How did you feel with this whole?
That scene was just so, it just really confirmed everything that I've been thinking and feeling about the Hive. Yeah. I don't like the fact that they were doing all of these things for one person and then it stopped and then that was it. Mm-hmm. There is no reverence to the practice of culture at all. Culture, there is a creator on TikTok, his name is Shaheem. Mm-hmm. And he said that culture is a performance. Mm-hmm. Like, and not in a negative way. It's not performative. No, it's a performance. It's something that you do over and over and over again to be connected to your culture, to your people, to your community. And it's some things we do consciously and some things we do unconsciously. Right. Yeah. And sometimes like you're removed from your culture, whatever it is, but you can always like come back to it. It anchors you. Culture anchors you to yourself and to humanity. And seeing how not only disrespectful, but it was completely discarded. It is not of value to the Hive whatsoever. And it's so sad. And then, of course, she let all the animals out, which means like it's again, like they do not need those animals. Those animals were for her to feel comforted in that way. And then they let go of the animals too. Yeah, I loved his take. I didn't watch his entire video because it was going to get spoiled. Yes. But he said that line and I was just like, it's so true. And I don't know it just made me think about like my culture, American culture, Puerto Rican culture. Like, what do we, how do we practice that every day? And how are we letting it go every day? And what is it? And what is culture being replaced with? I think about that a lot. And that scene reminded me of that conversation.
Yeah. And especially with, we lose these types of cultures all the time.
Oh yeah. And it's an indigenous culture. There's an
indigenous culture, and
an indigenous language, which are always like,
And it's a shame because I don't think that, Kutamaya knew that was exactly how that was going to happen. She was so young and naive, I could see why she would want to join. She talked about her aunt and her cousin being a part of that. And she still has everything here. And it's like family is a big part. It's a very small tribe. Of course she would want to be with them. So I can see that, but I don't think she knew that as soon as she joined that like it would all be gone. Like this is the last of your culture. Like you need to live on in order for this to continue. But now no one will be able to experience that. We don't. And with a lot of indigenous cultures, we lose a lot of that, you know? And it's a shame because like America doesn't have like our own real culture. I've tried to embrace my own like Filipino culture in some ways. And it's like, it's so hard, like in today's day and age where our culture is like so, it's hard to quantify in those ways. There's something that's like beautiful about the indigenous culture and these things. And I wish we could experience it more. Sometimes I wish we could go back to that. I think that's a lot of the kinds of like shows and things that I've like written or like to experience. I love it when we can bring these things into it. This is why I was like, at first I was like, oh, what a great way to highlight this one tribe and the way that they do things. What a great way to bring this in so that we can experience it as for us and see that, and then to take it away from us was such a bold move for the
and it
from
was
the creators.
like so instant, and there was a silence too right after.
Oh, so silent.
And
so
I want to
quiet.
say that like culture is performance, but the women, her aunts or her mom, whatever it was, were performing. Like they were performing being their aunt or whatever for her comfort. So it's like it was just so messed up. It was so contrived, and it was so, again, incredibly manipulative. It was so manipulative because they know, first of all, they know how to poke at her. They know everything about this person. They know everything about their culture. They know that it's a very collective culture as well. That whole village was a show. That whole village, that whole setup was a spectacle, right? A show, a veneer for that young girl, that young woman. And now it's just gone. It's disintegrated. I don't know. It was so, it was like pulling back the curtain, like in a theater when you see, when you see all the, again, it's just like the Diabate thing. It's when you break through the fourth wall and you see the strings and you see the puppet, and it just shatters. And I think that scene really did that. Like it just shattered and you felt it. It was cool. It was really powerful.
Yeah. I hope that we delve into this more in second season, because I want to see more of that culture. I want to see more of like the devastating effects of that, because I think that we end up drowning out culture a lot nowadays, through social media and through other things, or we give it such a performative thing, especially like as allies or something. It's very much like, when I guess a pipeline is going through something, we're very much like against it, but then we forget about that. We still have indigenous tribes here in America that on the reservations, there's like so much struggle going on, right? There's so much culture that's being lost. There's so many languages like being lost. And I think that we still do this, I don't think we're any better than the Hive, to be fair, when it comes to
Agreed.
to accepting culture. And so I think there could be something to be said there. I just don't know if they will.
And I definitely see it as like commentary on American culture as well, and how hivey it is, how dominant it is, and how empty it is. No offense. I would say I'm pretty Americanized, but like I still try to hold on to my culture as well. And I still have the point of view of like, what the fuck is this? Like, I am still very much tied to my culture. So I feel a sense of belonging. I feel like when I go back, I feel like home. When I go back home, I don't feel othered. Like, I feel like I'm myself. Right. And I'm not loud when I'm home, and I'm like, not like, you know what I mean? So there are like a lot of things about American culture that like, it wants to strip you. They want the capitalism to be the cult. I think that's what capitalism, consumerism here is like, definitely the prevailing culture. And please don't clip this, because they'll call ICE on me.
No.
They'll call ICE on me, and
it's such good stuff.
I'm just saying. It is very hivey out in these streets, I will say.
Yeah.
Emptiness.
Yeah. I don't sometimes. If you want to get political, sometimes the things that people are fighting for, it's hard, but it's hard not to, because when we see like how much we're seeing a lot of the erasure of culture by the erasing of certain groups of people by very specific entities that are screaming for like, what about our culture? And it's like, what about your culture? Like, what culture is that? Like, what do you mean? Yeah. Because you come from somewhere. We all come from somewhere. But like, what are you talking about? Like, it doesn't.
She's trying to get on your lap.
Yeah, of course she is. So it does. So in that kind of sense, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, where you can get so like, I guess in a way, like hive minded in that way where you're like, we need to embrace like our own people, our own culture. And it's like, but you have to like, but not, first of all, not at the expense of like others, which makes no sense, especially when the fact that like these cultures are what made us in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So like know what culture you're perpetuating in it. And it, you know, comes down to like, there really isn't, it's really not about that. That's just what they're screaming, you know, they just don't want, it's white supremacy and stuff. I don't know, whatever, but you know, but yeah, the fact that it's like, I don't know what culture we're fighting for half the time. You know, and I don't know what's kind of going on, you know? So yeah, it's weird being an American right now.
Yeah, it is.
We don't, but that's, you know, but the show is a great look at these kinds of things, I think. So hopefully we can dive more into that, I think, and what we've lost and what we can embrace maybe in future seasons, you know. There's, in terms of this opening, I, again, loved it so much. We've talked about cinematography before, and there's two very good shots in this show that I was just like in awe of. There's been multiple shots where I'm just like, how did you do that? Like what is going on in these, how, just again, the planning of the shot is so crazy. Like there's a shot of the plane arriving on the runway and you see it, there's no cut. It comes in, you see it coming in and there's a person on the runway, which they could have easily comped in the person. It is on a long lens where they're not in danger of anything, but the way that it's done, I'm like, I think that was all just done practically. Like this is that shot in Game of Thrones with Jon Snow like facing off against all the horses, which is a really good shot, and they use the same techniques. But I'm just like, this is so much harder to plan. Like, how do you get like a single plane to do exactly what you want and to land? I was just in awe. I was like, is this CGI at all? Like, what are they doing? And then he walks, it's like amazing shot. And the same thing with like the goat. I couldn't tell if that was a real goat or a fake goat or how they got the goat to come out of the gate and to stop on its mark and then to do its like little thing. I'm just like, they're I'm just blown away at how they managed to do this. Did it take you like 40 takes to do that? Did you have to have like an animal wrangler off screen being like holding a treat or something? I have no idea how they managed that, because like, again, on a technical level, that seems almost impossible. And I'm looking at the scenes. I'm like, that has to be a CG goat because there's no way, but it looked like a real goat. So I can't really tell. Yeah. So I was just in awe with like these like very simple shots that happened with this show. So anything else before we go past the opening?
Oh no, I'm good.
Great. So we catch back up where we left off with Carol and Zoja, and they're looking at a drone feed on Carol's TV. I'm just sitting here thinking, how do you get a military drone feed onto your regular television? Like, how does this work? It's kind of scary. I don't know why. It's just like looking at this like drone thing, like in the comfort of your own living room, is a little scary for some reason. I don't know. And I forget exactly how the conversation goes. They're asking like, how long has he been coming and what's going on here? And then she asks a question kind of offhandedly. It's like, well, you know, he's not dangerous, or right? Is he? Because he wouldn't be. Oh, yeah. He wouldn't. And she's like, well, he wouldn't hurt you. We don't think. Yeah. We don't think he would. We don't think he's a danger to you. And I'm like, oh, that was manipulative as hell. Because I don't know. At this point, there could be something that they know about Minusos that we don't know, right? So there's multiple things going on. Like, is he dangerous? Probably. Is he dangerous to the hive? Absolutely. Yeah. Right? Is he dangerous to Carol? as far as we've seen, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But they plant that seed of danger, which is a very manipulative thing to do, you know? So I found that very interesting. And fascinating that they would do that, because we know how much they don't lie, but there's a very specific way and they're not lying that they planted that seed. It's like they don't want these two to come together. Again, very telling of the hive in some way. And then preying on, you know, I guess Carol's, you know, othering of people that she often does, and knowing that this is like kind of a weakness of hers to already be like, no, you should probably fear him. You know, he's not like you know, or this is going to be different. So, I think the battle lines are being drawn there. And that's the small line. Minusos does arrive, and the hive is nowhere to be seen because they don't want to be around it.
Yes.
Minusos and Carol finally meet.
Yes.
He arrives. He, passive aggressively honks the horn because he's afraid of going in right now. You know, he doesn't know where he's at. He's in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Very different from the places like he came from, you know? It's like, I don't know. I at this point, I can safely assume that he's never been to America. That it's a very different style of place that he's been. He's from very, very far in South America, you know? So I don't know. I think he's like he's out of his element. He's lost. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
But the honking did feel a little passive aggressive. We get more of that later. I can't wait. Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you know that like his character is originally from Colombia.
I heard about this.
Yes. Yeah.
I get a lot of comments about this.
Yes. Oh, you do. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we've in the vein of I think what did we talk about? There was like these added layers, which I think people have been commenting them that they're like, oh, also if you didn't pick up on this, like he is Colombian, and then he's also like out of his world, you know, so that's a very different kind of thing. I don't know. I can't remember what they were saying, but there's also like a racial thing there. Like there at some point, someone was like, no, he's considered the white person of Paraguay. I don't know what that is. I don't know if you know anything about that I don't know, but apparently even though he's like, he looks
brown,
he's brown, but like I guess he's considered like the white. Like white,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I can see that.
Okay. Yeah. You would have to tell me because I just don't know, right?
Yeah, it's like in like being white is there's a bigger net in South America and in the Caribbean of like what is considered to be white. It's not like here in the United States where it's like incredibly strict.
Yeah.
And so he could definitely be considered like if my dad saw him, he'd be like, oh yeah, he's white. Like if
that's so interesting.
Like it's like my dad is like white in Puerto Rico. Like he looks not in the United States. He's probably not considered white. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it's just a bigger, there's a bigger range. It's a lot of flexibility.
Yeah. Cause I had another friend, another friend on TikTok who is Latin. I believe he's Mexican, but who very much saw Minusos as like, oh, this is like my uncle. Yeah. Like this is very like there's some like Latino culture kind of coming out of him, you know, and some of the things that he does, you know, that we just accept. So I find that very interesting that like even there's a clash of like how people view things, you know, I don't know. Right?
Yeah. And like, even his accent is very like, he sounds Colombian, like, especially when he said, I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, I don't know what a Paraguayan accent really sounds like, but to me, he sounded a little Colombian. So
I would never know.
Okay.
It's good to, it's interesting. So he's already like not even in his
home country
element from the very beginning, which is very interesting. And why did he leave is a good question, right? Which again could potentially show us, did he have to leave? I don't know. Is Colombia like a big, country? Does it have like a big like immigration thing where people like have to leave for any sort of like major.
I don't know if there's something going on, but I will say that there are a lot of Colombian immigrants.
I would imagine in his like childhood, it would have had to happen in his childhood, I think, right? Where like, so it would have been like decades ago, like maybe not now, right? But I'm assuming that there would have had to have been something in his childhood that made him have to emigrate, whether it's war or some sort of, or again, and there are Colombian cartels, aren't there?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, again, this is where we get his philosophy, like nothing you have is yours, that he very much is used to people like the kind of colonizing or taking things, and like how does he deal with that? I feel like that would give us a lot if we knew kind of more. I'm assuming we'll see more about that. Yeah, that it might have to. Do we think it's part of the character, or do we think it's just the actor has a Colombian accent?
No, it's a part of the character.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 100%.
Okay.
Like I saw an interview.
Okay.
And he was talking about his character, and like they were talking about the script, and then like I think he said like Vince told him that he is originally, like the character is originally from Colombia, and then he moved to Paraguay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
interesting to see like why and how that.
And I'm sure they're gonna tap into that too.
There's definitely
for
gonna have to be like some sort of flashback or something. For
sure.
Like
Yeah.
I was very worried that for the past like 2 episodes that he would not get to say his like line. My name is Minusos. I am not one of them. I want to save the world. I was like, I want him to be able to say it. He's been practicing it so much.
Yeah.
So he did. He got to say the line. I was like so satisfied that he got to say the line. She doesn't. I don't think she reacts to it in the way that we. We saw this coming though. We knew this was happening. Like she's been sleeping with the hive. Like this is a very different Carol that was, showing that he was coming to see originally. Yeah. So what do you think about this first meeting? Did you have any thoughts with everything?
It's very funny. Like the show is very funny. That was the way. They're both kind of the same. They're just both the same in a different font.
They are.
They really are. Yeah. They're both incredibly stubborn. They're very goal-oriented people.
Yeah.
So they're just both stubborn, trying to communicate. It's like virtually impossible for a million reasons. And I feel like the language is like the lowest reason. It's like the least. It's just them. It's just literally them really being unable to communicate because they're just in their own mission, whatever mission it is in their head, they're just on that. Yeah. So they can't really see each other at first. Yeah. And it's very funny, like seeing that play out.
Yeah. It was hilarious. Yeah. And the whole phone thing was hilarious.
It's so funny.
And you're right. Language is not even like the least. It's like the first argument is just like whether we go into the house or stay in the ambulance.
Exactly. Like,
it's like they didn't need, they had enough translation to know what they were talking about, but they still couldn't.
Yeah. Exactly.
Couldn't get past their own like stubbornness, you know? Someone else pointed out on TikTok, like the audacity of her to be like, leave your machete outside, but also like, I have a shotgun.
Right. That's very Carol.
Yeah.
That's very Carol.
Like, what is this really about? And again, I think that comes from that seed that they planted of like, no, this guy could be dangerous. So she sees the weapon and she's nope, you can't come in here because now I'm afraid. I noticed later on when he's just next door, when she like blocks the door with the chair, and she never did that once with the hive. She was never worried about, and she's more afraid of this human being that is supposed to be on her side, which is very telling. I don't know what's going on with Carol, but the way that she doesn't know who this person is. I'm not going to call Carol racist, but there might be a little bit of stereotyping that she's doing in that, the fact that she wouldn't even go to these lengths with the hive to keep them out, that she's very afraid of like, what is this man going to do? Right. What is this guy going to do when I'm not looking?
Very dangerous man.
Yeah. It's very, very dangerous, man. I'm just a woman and like in my house, I'm all alone. Very interesting, Carol. I is what I'll say. They're in there arguing. Carol's now it's so funny because now Carol is saying the things that like we've been saying about the Hive. Like she's kind of defending it. Now she's like, she knows them a little bit more. And like in they're arguing, like he's like, well, what about this? She's like, well, they're honest. They can't lie. Or like, why would they bug? She's very, she's no longer skeptical of the Hive that she once used to be, And again, we talked about this. Like there's like Carol has come around, to almost being on the Hive mind's side. She's like, have you thought about just talking to them? Is what she says. Have you thought about just like asking them questions? Like it's so funny. It's very hypocritical because it's like this is how you started off,
exactly.
Carol.
Like
this is exactly what you wanted.
She's so funny for that.
Yeah,
like you are too much.
I wrote down this moment where, he's like, I thought they were gone, and she's like, well, they came back. He's like, well, why did they come back? And she stops. She's like, I don't know. It really hits her. I think. Because I don't think she knows. I don't think she stopped once to think about that. Because she was getting what she wanted, right? Which was she was lonely.
Yeah.
And she needed a human presence. And that's all that she really cared about was like, yeah, you're back. And like, I can, and she never thought like, well, why would they? I just saw that hit her. Yeah. And I found that like very interesting. I don't know. Again, look at relationships and stuff. It's a very good question. It's a very honest moment where like, we sometimes we don't think about why people come back into our lives or like what is there a motive or is there not a motive or like or do I get what I want? And
exactly
that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And the moment you start to think about it, you're like, oh yeah, what? Why are we? Yeah. Why are we here?
Why are we here? And the whole like 40 days thing, I'm like, oh, that's very biblical too.
Yeah, it's been 40 days.
Yeah.
40
days.
Been
40 days, 40 nights.
70 days.
No, it was just like 40 days.
There's another jump that happens. There's been 40 days since. Oh
yeah, what? I was just saying because it was like 40 days they didn't speak to her.
That's
like
right.
the 40 days, 40 nights thing. Yeah. The Bible thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned like, that she was in a wilderness of her own. Yeah,
exactly. So then that means, it wasn't 40 days for him. But yeah, it's just very interesting.
It's been a while for him, for sure. I mean, he's been alone longer, potentially. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to get through these notes, and I don't know why I'm very bad at. I wrote down all these things I thought I'd have more to say about them, and I'm just bringing them up.
I mean, it's a pretty I just feel like it was a pretty straightforward episode too.
I thought it was very
because it was like action, like this is what's happening. You know what I mean? Like this is happening, this is happening, this is happening.
Yeah,
like, and we're at the end.
Yeah. I wrote down now there are two of them. The two most miserable people trying to get along. Can't wait to see more of that next season.
I do give Manusas more of a leash. He did go through the Durian Gap and almost died. So
he did.
Yeah, like
died
that's
and
insane.
Was reborn.
Yeah, that's insane. It's insane.
Eventually they look for the bugs. Oh yes, they look for the bug. I love that. Like, why would there be bugs in?
I know.
When they use insects. It's like, no, a bug.
The literal translation is so good. Yeah.
So he's looking for the any sort of wire or sensor or way that they're spying on her house. Again, military training, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing. His house has been bugged before.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on with his past, but there's a clear thing going on there.
Military intelligence, like something. He was a part of the military. Yeah, he knows about the radio stuff. He knows he's very, very smart. But he does do some not smart things, including the snapping. Let's talk about that for a second. How did you feel about that? Because I was like, oh, that's not gonna go over well. That was insane.
That was fun.
I was like, I was just very surprised Carol didn't like kill him. I was like, yo, And then she's like, no.
She was, again, there are times where Carol will be like, okay, Carol, don't say it like that. Where I feel like I'm not on your side, where she's like, I don't respond to Snappo. And I'm like, that's not.
I know. She said some other things too. I'm like,
it's like,
it was very cringy. It's obviously on purpose, but I was like,
it's very on purpose, but like, he's at least trying to like use actual English and Spanish, where she just makes up the Spanglish version of whatever she thinks, adding O or at the end of it makes it a Spanish word. I'm like, that's Carol. It's so, again, I'm not going to call her racist, but very privileged. That's coming from very privileged.
I guess like microaggression. Like it's very much that
microaggression.
Yeah.
So so I mean, but in the sense also the snapping wasn't great from him either.
No, that was awful. That was awful.
Is that a common thing in Latin culture that you feel? Is that
not in our culture?
No,
not in our culture.
Or is it just more of a misogynistic?
I think it's definitely more misogynistic, for
like a
sure.
masculine kind of thing.
Yeah, like no.
Yeah.
No one, I've never been snapped at like that, unless I was waiting tables, and I'm like,
no, yeah,
they've done that.
Not.
They've done that, yeah.
Yeah, this reeked as some sort of misogynistic thing that he needs to get over eventually. You know, I was like, I'm on your side, Manusos, but then you got to go and do that. But it was very fun. It was a very fun moment. I love that for both of them. That they can have their little back and forth there.
Yeah.
And she is funny. Like, don't get me wrong. The I don't speak Snappo was kind of funny. And
she's so funny. That whole them together, they're just a comedy. I have to
wonder
duo.
how much of this is like improv too. Like how much of that is like on the page, and how much do they just bring to this?
I don't production. Know. But it's great.
He finds a censor. She immediately calls the hive.
Yeah. We were talking about that. Yeah. Like I felt that I was being manipulated by the writers. When she found this, or he found the censor, and then she saw it, there was a music cue, and it just made you feel like this is it. The hive has been lying the whole time. The shoe's about to, you know what I mean? And then it's just like, no. Helen put that in there, and then the music fades away, and I'm like, you guys, they don't even
say. It's funny. It's like they don't even say Helen by name. They very much are like, you know what this is, Carol. Yeah. They're like, do you remember this time? Do you remember when you were? Yeah. And it's like, we didn't put. There's what they say. Yeah. That wasn't from us.
Yeah.
And there's it's so interesting. I don't know what we're supposed to feel about this. Again, she gets it's a reminder of Helen, but it's also a reminder of, like, again, who she was in the relationship, and that this would be a thing that's like getting dredged back up again. You know, she's like, oh yeah, she didn't like my glug glug glug, you know, and it's, again, passive aggressive in the way that she says it. I don't know how she feels about Helen in this moment. I'm so, like, I'm devastated for her, but also like, because it really seems to like hit her hard. It really seems to hurt her that Helen was doing this without her kind of knowledge. But also, like, Carol, I don't know that you were the best judge of anything at that moment. Right. Like, maybe this is a good thing that she was at least keeping tabs on it. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. You know, are we supposed to feel for Carol, or?
I think that Carol is not to be trusted.
Sure.
And that's what that is. And so, listen, I don't think lying to your spouse is good, or, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Helen was doing what Helen needed to do, which is completely monitor her spouse, because her spouse has a problem that she cannot control. Yeah. So it's what we're seeing in that scene is just Carol being confronted with that. Yeah. And then she immediately drinks after. Like, literally, like, she's like, and then like they continue throughout the house, and she's like, my vodka's getting cold. Like, it's like, it's like, like there should be sensors everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with that and the breathalyzer, and like, you know, this person clearly had a major problem and it was affecting Helen, period, you know? So sorry. I don't know. It's just Carol being confronted with her own bullshit that still haunts her. At the end of the world, she's still on her shit. Like, she's still on her bullshit. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
we still don't even know the reason for the breathalyzer or the or why there was a sensor there in the first place.
Right.
And I have to imagine there's a reason for this. Like, you don't just get a breathalyzer like there's a DUI or something.
There's
you
a
know?
DUI.
I think
Yeah.
you did something.
There's a DUI, and then that's like same with the ankle bracelet. Does she have an ankle bracelet? No. Okay. But yeah, it's like, it's just a monitoring thing, and then like, yeah, with the sensor thing too. Like, I'm sorry. Also, Carol is a liability because it's the business.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's like, why would you have your client? That's her manager. Why would you have your client? You have to monitor. You have to control your clients.
I
you
think
have
that's
to
why
control your talent.
I think that's why she was monitoring. She wasn't like, there wasn't a boundary there. It was just like, I need to know when you go into the liquor cabinet and how much you're having, so I can keep tabs on it. She wasn't stopping her from drinking. She never did that.
She was, exactly.
You know,
which is good. It's just that she also knows her, man. Like how we got to know her. That's what I'm saying. There should be sensors everywhere around that house, because this lady is very, she really goes, she's really, she leads a lot with like her emotions, or maybe it's not that. Because I was saying in the last episode, like, Carol isn't very nostalgic or sentimental, but she is very emotional, and she goes with like her gut. She's very reactive. Like, she goes with her gut emotions a lot, I think.
You know what I'm going to say? It's addict behavior. This is
wow. You're so right.
The addict behavior, the reason we get addicted to something is because we don't have our inhibitions or whatever. We block these things out, and we just kind of latch onto something and grab on. A lot of people talk about like ADHD as like this kind of thing, you know? I was like, it's just addict behavior, right? She doesn't have the drinking, so she latches onto something else, right? She latches onto Zosia, and then when that like something hurts her or whatever, then she latches onto like, no, I got to save the world. And it goes back and forth. It's like whatever she can latch onto is like, this is what I'm addicted to at that moment. And she just kind of goes with it without thinking, right? And that's addict behavior. And sometimes it's bad coping mechanisms. It's because like she's trying to run from or can't deal with something else that is coming up for her and she doesn't want to deal with. And sometimes it's just like, I need to not like resort to my other coping mechanism that I normally would do, you know? So she has to like kind of go with it. And it is very emotionally based for sure. But that's addict behavior for sure, I think. Yeah.
It's you're so right. And it's so sad. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so after this all happens, she's like, I can't deal with saving the world. We're going to put it off till mañana. And, let me give you a place to stay, you know? So she shows Manusos a house. Yeah. You know, I kind of like this little moment where he's like, well, who does this belong to? And she's like, well, I think his name was, you know, Victor or something. And like, you know, he lived here and whatever. He said, well, it's not yours. It's not. And he almost is going to refuse to stay there. And she's like, you know what? You can go stay in the ambulance. That's not yours either.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, okay, great. Call him out. Yeah. He's kind of, don't be hypocritical, you know?
Just like her.
Yes,
just
absolutely.
like her in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, I need to, what is it? I'm self-sufficient. But it's like, no, you're not. Anyway, it just reminded me of that. Like they both have like their stubbornness, and it comes out in specific ways.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Yeah. This odd couple thing. This is why I wanted all season, right? So I
did too.
I love all of this, right?
Yeah, I did too.
But he immediately she leaves. He immediately calls the number, and he's like, and he's on his mission. You know, so he does what he needs to do. He brings over Zosia. She sees the car and she immediately rushes over. Is like, what is going on here? You know, this is jealousy, right? This is in a different sort. What does she say to Zosia later on? She's like, no, you're mine. You know, it's like, you're my chaperone. Like, Zosia reminds her that we love yes, we love Manusos. You know, we love everyone. You know, and she's like, no, but not in the same way, right? It's not the same, right? She has to convince herself that it has to be different, and she doesn't answer. And she's like, oh well, if you don't answer, I know what this is. Like, you know, I don't know, fun, interesting stuff. I don't know. What do you want to say about this jealousy moment, or was anything popping up for you? With
no, it's just again. That whole thing is just Carol slowly snapping out of the fantasy of it all. It's all a fantasy. That's what it is. But then, you know, they go on their little adventure. On their honeymoon, on their little, I say it. Yeah, their little green screen adventure. And
I don't think it was all green screen.
I think the end wasn't green screen. But it was like so egregious. I thought it was on purpose. Like it looked very much like hokey, like, you know, somebody walking through, like it's very like 1960s, like how things like used to be shot on a green screen, but it's just like people like walking. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, it just felt very green screen, like bad on purpose.
What shot are we talking about?
When they're just like going, like when they're vacationing
in the snow,
like in the snow on the beach. Like it's like,
I think that was all practical. I was looking at it and it looked all real. If there was any green screen, I think it was more compositing to erase people. Right. I think they, you know, they're not going to be able to shut down everything. There's going to be things in the background, or they have to do a little bit of compositing. But I think they went to all these locations. There's a lot of things like the ski lift was very real.
Yeah. That was real. The snow stuff.
The beach thing seemed very real.
Yeah.
There were some things. There was a little bit of green screen on the beach of them like walking through.
That's what I mean.
That felt like it felt like a little bit of interesting. But there was a shot there that was at least like. That's a real shot. They just composited them into there, you know? So yeah, there's a mix, I think, going on. I think you're right.
There's a mix. Yeah. It felt very like like it felt stylistic almost. I don't know. I could be reading it wrong.
Yeah. Well, there's some very egregious like green screen, like when they're arguing in the cul-de-sac. And I don't know what was going on there compositing wise. I'm like, I think they did this. There's a small, I don't know if they did a pickup later on where they had to like piece together them like arguing, and then right before the phone drops, there was some egregious compositing going on there. I was like, that looks way worse than like anything else I've seen. And it's like, why couldn't they do this cul-de-sac, or like, why didn't they just shoot this at the cul-de-sac? They built the cul-de-sac, right? And so I was really confused. It was like really weird shots. I can't, this is not what you come to the podcast for, but I noticed this weird thing. Yeah. I'm like, oh, maybe the grate wasn't there. Maybe that wasn't real, and they had to shoot that separately, and that's why that happened. And I have no idea, but there's some weird green things going on there, but I'm not so sure about. But what wasn't green screen was there was a moment where they shot all the cars leaving Albuquerque, like later on after they finish, we're going to get into like what he does, you know, but there was a shot where like all the cars are leaving. And again, I don't know how they do this because they're out of focus in the background while we're on Manusos and Carol, like watching everyone leave. And I'm like, the bokeh, very specific technical word of the way that the light blurs. It looked real. That's what bokeh is. Sorry for everyone who's not very technical, but like, I know cameras and cinematography. Some of you know out there, and hopefully y'all. I'm like, did they really shoot like all of this? It looks real. So I don't know if we've just really gotten good at our CGI technology to emulate really good bokeh. But I was blown away by some of these shots.
Yeah, for sure.
And then some of them are like composited or CGI. I'm like so confused. I was like, either they had to erase something, or there was a sky replacement, or something that had to happen that like you know makes it seem like a little off. You know, it's like, but I think for the most part, most of it's like practical. And so I don't know. But before we even get to
right
their honeymoon, he for Zoja is like, something's about to happen. And then she's like, she starts to lay down, and Carol's like, what's going on? She's like, well, don't be worried. Something's about to happen. And then Carol experiences the exact thing that she has been doing to like everyone else. Yeah. And we know exactly what's happening.
Exactly.
And she goes over to Manusos, and he's trying to figure out this thing. We find out that he warned them, first that I'm going to yell at you, and he does this thing, which he does it. He goes back. He finds the radio. He figures out that has something to do with the signal. The signal leaves whenever he does this, and then he tries it again, and Carol's trying to yell at him to like not do this. I found it all very, very, very interesting. We finally answered the question, like, is Carol special? No, they can all affect.
Yeah.
It's just emotion based. It seems to be.
Yeah.
Right. And very heightened, very, very heightened emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why. I'm sure we'll get into that later on, but I think so. That's at least one answer to that question, right? It seemed akin to like torture.
Yeah.
This is very much like Manusos. He's doing something that very much feels like you have to. Like this is something that Carol would like. He's doing it in a proper way. He's making sure that like hopefully he didn't kill anyone, but he gave them ample warning.
Yeah.
And
right.
He's trying to solve certain things, and that's great. Here's the moment. Well, first of all, here's the moment that I said it was going to happen. Right? I predicted last week that this is what's going to happen. That he's going to have to do something, and she's going to have to defend the hive. Like after he like emotionally outbursts or something, and she's going to have to do this. And she comes in with a shotgun, and there's a cool like push in shot of like badass Carol like with a shotgun, you know, of her doing this and she protects everyone. And I don't know how to feel about it because I'm like, he's doing exactly like what
you're supposed to be.
He's trying to solve the thing. He's figuring out answers to these questions, you know, and gaining more and more information.
Him.
You should be, but it does feel a little bit like torture, and we know torture is not the way to get information. Studies have been shown that like torture is not great. You know, like it doesn't get you the information or the stuff that you want. Like it's never been a means to an end that we thought it was, right? After the Iraq War and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know how to feel about it, you know, because he does it in a polite way, but it's also not great.
Well, he
doesn't feel good.
He does. Sorry. Yeah, that didn't feel good. No, but because again, he does not see the hive as humans. Like, period. Like he has a very strict boundary around that. These people are not humans. However, he does think that the soul is trapped in there, that the essence of the person still is in there, but he does not see the vessel as a human though. It's really interesting. Yeah. His philosophy around it, I would say. And I actually think it's, especially in the beginning, it's similar to Carol's, where she did not really see them as humans at all. Yeah. You know? This
is where I'm saying, like, we see the flip side of this is where she started, and now we're seeing where she is now. You know, that she has gone on some sort of journey where she's very much, had this happened like a month before, she would have been there. She'd been like, yeah, let's figure this out.
Exactly.
But she's seeing this as, this is not good. We know this is not good, you know?
Yeah. Well, she's seeing the humanity. I guess she is seeing the humanity of the hive, but she's definitely, this is all for Zosha though. This is not for Mark or whatever his name was, James.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah.
This is for Zosha because Zosha is getting hurt, and she is now seeing Zosha as a human. I don't know if she sees anybody else as a human, but she does know that if you hurt Zosha, you hurt all of them. So, but this is all about her relationship with her. Like it feels very selfish.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And she goes back to Zosha. She's like, do you need some water?
Exactly.
Like, what can I, you know?
And it's just like, but I do love that scene between Manusos and that guy.
Yes.
I felt like I really wanted the soul to come
say
out
something, right?
I really did.
He's like, yeah, just,
I was like,
if you're in there.
I was like hoping, like, I was just like, oh my God, please, please, please. Yeah. I really wanted that to come to fruition. However, it's cool that exists, I guess, that like now we know there's some sort of like radio frequency going running through our bodies or running through the bodies that is affecting the soul, essentially. It's very interesting. I love it. Like I loved that. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah, he doesn't we don't see the individual come out. So unfortunately we don't know if this is, we still are left with that question. Like, is there a person under there trying to get out, or is there not? You know, and so again, it answers the question of like how this works, and that this is how they're all connected, and this is a way to do it. But I think we have to juxtapose that with what we saw last episode, where we talked about there's another way you can get the individual to come out, and that's by like constantly like reminding them who they are. Like, doing it in this way is not the way to go, and we hopefully we'll figure that out, and Manustos will figure that out. It does answer some questions. It does give them something to know more about the hive. It gives them the information that they need to fight whatever is going on. But I don't think it's going to be the answer to how do we like connect with the individual anymore, you know? And I feel like we've seen both sides. And it's just harder. We still don't, but we're still left with these questions of like, what is this? Where are we going to go with this? Like, what do we do with this information? Is this actually like accomplishing what you need, you know? And I think there's a difference with like, again, how do we treat humanity, right? The difference between like, can you get this through torture? Or can you get this through a different way, you know? Interesting, fun stuff there. I love that we see, like, we hear the phone ringing and we know exactly like who's calling. Yes. We don't even have to like hear. Yeah. Even though it's just like, do you want to know who's calling? It's like, yeah, I know who's calling.
Yeah. It's very funny. Again, this is so fucking funny.
Yeah. But we don't actually get, I think it's, we don't get any of our other characters though, this episode. Which is a little disappointing. Yeah. I would like to know how they'll play into the second season, but I still thought it was like a fun moment. Everyone leaves. They watch. I talked about the shot where they watch them all go. Now they can't be there. Zojia can't be there. Not if Manustos is going to be this way. The same thing that happened before. The same thing that Carol was afraid of. She's like, I don't want you guys to leave again. Like, I want to solve. I'm not going to stop doing this, and I'll do it even if you have to leave. If you're going to leave me again, then do that. But now she's clearly like changed on her stance, right? There's a difference here. This is where we get the title of the episode. He's like, do you want to save the world, or do you want to go after the girl? Do you want to get the girl?
Yeah.
I just wrote down, I liked how he says like, now the work begins, because he's like, I figured all this out, and now the work begins. And I found that I don't know why I liked the way he said it, or the quote or whatever. Again, he's very hell-bent on his mission. He's got these convictions. He knows what he's here to do. You know, he's very specific about it, and he's trying to get Carol. This is a pulling on Carol, right? This is exactly like where she wanted to be at the beginning of the season. This is the call to action in a normal like hero's journey, you know? And very much this is that call to action of which way are you going to go, Carol? Right. Which one are you gonna choose? And she chooses to go after Zojia.
Yeah, I know.
She is not wanting to fight the hive.
Right.
Why? Besides her own selfishness and wanting to be in love or anything. Yeah. Did you have any thoughts on like why she chooses to go after Zojia?
It's just
this is what she wanted, right?
I genuinely just think it's that. It's like, you're in love, it's selfishness, it's companionship, it's all of those things. And like,
she was left alone before.
Yeah. She's scared. Like, and you know, honestly, she's hiding a bit. If I'm being honest, she's just hiding. She's hiding out until she absolutely won't be able to anymore. There's no way. You can't live in a fantasy forever.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. She had to play it out.
Mm-hmm.
I think she had to definitely play it out. And fantasies always break, and you're confronted with reality, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's why.
She's confronted with herself.
Oh yeah.
Right. She chooses Zojia, and she chooses the hive because she's recognizing, I think, who she was with Manusos there. Like, again, we talk about how much they are alike in the same person in like a different font, and I think she's seen like, I think I understand now, like what I was being or what I was doing or why I was that way. And I don't want to choose that. I don't want to choose that direction. Right. Like there's gotta be a better way. There is a better way. She's even mentioned, she's like, no, there's other ways that we can do this.
Possibly
I think at some point, you know?
Yeah.
And again, I do think that she has, again, where she says like, I'm not going to give up. Which again was her lying to herself. I think she has given up on like saving humanity. Humanity doesn't mean anything to her. I think by the end of this episode, humanity still means nothing to her because really it's not about humanity. It's about saving herself. You know, at the end of the day. But we'll get there. So I think she's just, the fact is like she's given up, and she also knows that like if this is who I was, or this is who I am, or this is what it takes. Like I don't want to be that anymore, which is good growth for her.
Yeah,
great growth for her.
Yeah,
you know.
Definitely.
And she chooses the girl, you know, this is our rom-com too. We get our romance, the thing, our enemies to lovers, and like it happened, and they go on, what I wrote down was like this is their honeymoon, you know. She has to go on this journey. Right. I meant to look this up, but, did you see the book that she was reading on their beach thing? Is The Left Hand of Darkness.
Oh, yeah. What? Yeah. So
I guess it has, Ray Seahorn mentioned like how important kind of that is. Like, first of all, I think it's interesting because it's a sci-fi book or a fantasy book. So she's a fantasy author that's also reading like good fantasy, right? It's supposed to be a really good book. And I think it involves a person that I believe goes to another world and tries to bring them in a little bit like Star Trek, like bring them into like our way of doing things, you know, but I guess that world but then they bring him in instead or something like that. So it's a very interesting thing. And there's supposed to be like a juxtaposition there with how Carol's dealing with the hive mind, you know, but it's the opposite, but the same kind of thing. And how do we, you know, convert people, you know, and it's about conversion, all these kinds of stuff. So yeah, I just found that interesting. So I don't know, maybe a little bit of could be some reading to do before the next season, The Left Hand of Darkness, to see if that has anything to say. Yeah. Some good stuff there that might help us later on. I noticed a little bit more yellow or warmth coming into Zoja's wardrobe, as well as like a lot of blue coming into Carol's wardrobe, you know, or at least some blue accents coming in, you know. When they're skiing, they're both wearing like bright blue like bottoms, you know. Carol's wearing all blue, I believe, and then Zoja's wearing like a red top. I don't know if they like switch tops or anything, but they still have the blue in there. So it's very, very interesting. You know, they're interacting together, you know, they're sharing everything. So fun stuff there. We get the dreaded, you know, relationship question.
The conversation.
Yeah. Tell me about your past relationships. Yeah. tell me about your exes.
Yeah.
I forget what happened in that conversation. I wrote down, cause she asked like about her, did you have a partner? Did you have someone? Did Zoja have someone? Yeah. Right. And like, well, that ended, you know, Zoja says that ended a long time ago. You know, there was someone, you know, and, you know, really Carol's just kind of doing the comparison thing where she's like, well, was it like me or was it not? I was kind of curious, is this going into like an are you gay question? Like, was it a man or a woman? You know, I wasn't sure if that was, we don't know too. We never get the answer. I was like, was Zoja, what would Carol be Zoja's type? Right. We don't know. Also, is she even gay? Like, would she, you know, does she like women? You know, it's very interesting stuff there. So there's like layers, right? There's a layer of like, how much am I putting on to like this hive as like by getting like what I want, but also how like does this person actually really like me? Right. Which is always the real question of like, when you ask these kind of relationships, like, is this really something, you know, is this really a thing that you want, you know? So, I don't know. I found that very interesting. Again, I love the relationship aspect of it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's always a bad question to ask, right? It's always maybe not always
don't
bad. I feel
know.
like it's like always, depending on when it comes up, it always ends up being like not the best question.
I know. I actually, me personally, I actually
Yeah.
really like that question.
Sure.
I like asking it, and I like when people ask me.
About your past relationships.
Yeah. It just gives me, I don't know. It's very insightful. It's very much like, it lets me know where the person is, like mentally, emotionally, like, are they still hung up on them? You know, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I actually really like,
I guess it depends on like how you're asking it, right? Because if you're like asking because you're trying to figure out like, oh, am I your type or whatever,
right?
You know? And there's like an insecurity going on there, which is where I think this is coming from, is like some sort of insecurity with Carol, you know, then that's not we don't want to talk about that. You don't want to know that answer. You just want to know, do I like you? You know, like that's really like what's going on.
Exactly.
Here,
yeah.
you know? So I don't know, fun stuff, you know, but they get to somehow they get around to the stem cell thing, and like knowing that she's like, well, we're here together. And like, obviously, and you can't turn me. And she realizes like, wait, you can turn me.
Huge.
By them not saying like how they would do it. Huge. Yeah. Very huge.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
I was like, oh, Mattias is right. It's like, wow, he clocked that like immediately. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I had no idea how they would come into play. There was never a moment. I did not think that I didn't know they needed stem cells at that moment. So there was never a case of how would they use this.
You did
know?
say Chekhov's eggs.
I did.
So, and you were so right. That's what I mean. Like, it was just perfect. And it's so true. And I've had, like, as soon as you said that, I've just had that thought in the back of my head, like every single episode. Like, I'm like, when is this going to come up? Yeah. Like, it has to.
Yeah.
And it's like very clear. But, the thing again, which I find really interesting, is that don't they have to have her consent?
They don't. They need consent to harm. And that's the thing.
Yes.
It's like they don't need the consent in the way that we need
eggs.
consent for the eggs, apparently.
Yeah.
That's because it's the harm that was the problem. Sticking a needle into your hip bone, which would be very, very painful, they would not be able to do without any sort of consent.
Also, they need consent for her to be like, yes, I want to be a part of the hive. They're not just going to make her.
They don't need that.
See, that's confusing. That's why I was confused.
I don't think they needed that consent. At least the way that Mr. Diabate spelled it out. He said that would require harming us, and they need our consent to do that. Is what he said. So it wasn't really about because they will find any way that they can do that, right? But that was the only way that he knew of that could happen. So, and of course they need consent to harm, but if they could find another way, they would just do it without any sort of consent.
Right.
If there was a way to do it without harming the person, I think they would do it without any sort of consent, which is what they're doing with Carol, which is very, very wrong. That's just wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah. So it's again, it's just very anti-human.
Yeah.
And it is anti-woman. I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Like there was somebody that made an argument that, that the hive is egalitarian. They see no gender, whatever. The hive. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But guess what? Carol's not a part of the hive.
Yeah.
Carol is still a woman in society. Carol had to do that procedure because of society, because of her life, because of her choice. She had the choice to do that. And now she's being stripped away from that choice. Mm-hmm. She now has no choice. And to me, that is very directly saying that this woman has no choice in her future. Mm-hmm. Period. That there is no political agenda. There is no man versus woman. There is no nothing. That is literally what is happening on that screen. That Carol is a woman that is being stripped from any choice and any agency. Right? Mm-hmm. And that's it. That is it. So, sure. Hive, genderless. Carol, Manusos, the other bitches, are gendered. They are still in society. They are trying to go back. Some people are trying to go forward, but regardless, they are not a part of that quote unquote egalitarianness that you see.
Mm-hmm.
So all the arguments that I see online like are just such bullshit.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, or people trying to argue with me specifically.
The anti-woman thing is very interesting because I think it's mostly like we're just talking about the connection of the fact that yes, like the Hive, yes, treats everyone the same, like they hate everyone equally. That's what we used to say in the military, right? It's like, we're not racist, we just hate everyone equally, you know? So it's like because we would haze everyone regardless of your religion,
right,
your race or your background or your age.
Yeah.
We very much loved it, you know.
Yeah.
And so yes,
it's a great metaphor.
In that way, it's like yes, egalitarian or whatever the word is, but the truth of the matter is the amount of times in this show specifically that they've used women and the amount of times that they've found ways to manipulate Carol specifically are not. It's not equal. It hasn't been equal.
Yeah.
Like they can't do this with Manusos or Diabate. And
in
I
that
think,
way.
Yeah. And sure, I'm sure if they had a way to do it, and I'm sure if Carol was a man, quote unquote, they would still do it. They would still equal. But that's not the show that they're showing us. That's not the show that exactly. They showed us Carol as a woman, as a main character, and they've shown us time and time again how often they brought out a woman to manipulate Carol. The waitress, they've used the mother, like you said. They've used women over and over and over again. And yes, I guess if Mr. Diabate was gay, they would use men, but that's not the show.
Exactly.
They specifically show you like how often they use women.
Exactly.
It's not equal.
It's not equal. It's over the head. I feel like it's very obvious.
Yeah.
That it's very blatant that there is commentary there, that there is a big difference there as well. Mm-hmm. Like even with Mr. Diabate, it's the same thing. It's like they could have made that a character a woman. Like they could have done anything, but they decided no. Mm-hmm. They decided to show that, right? Like it yeah, sorry. I know we're agreeing here. It's just very frustrating. Because it, like you were saying earlier, feels like we're watching a different show than everybody else. Sometimes.
I think specifically like the egg thing, using someone's eggs is like that affects.
It's insane.
That affects you as a woman more than it would like affects me like as a man. Yeah. It's like I can easily be like, yeah, well, it doesn't bother me, you know, because I'm a man. I don't have any fucking eggs. I'm like, well, that's shitty behavior, you know? Yeah. Like recognizing at least the vulnerability that women have like in this world, that Carol has in this world just by being a woman.
Exactly.
Is important. You know, that the hive mind takes advantage of that and can take advantage of that more often than not because we live in such a patriarchal society where like men have not had these same type of vulnerabilities or these same types of ways to be taken advantage of.
Exactly. And so so with the she froze her eggs or did she freeze embryos?
Eggs. I think you can only freeze eggs.
Okay. Yeah. So then you freeze the eggs and I think it needs to be an embryo in order to take out the stem cell, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So how is that going to happen? Right? What does that incubation process look like? Like, you know what I mean? Like in order to you have to implant embryo, like you have to do so much.
It has to be they have to use a woman as a surrogate, probably. Now some theorize that they're going to use Diabate's DNA, which is possible. They could easily get his DNA or he's I don't want to get into like how they would get it, but like so like that they could also potentially put him at risk because if it's half Carol, half Diabate, I don't know how I feel about that theory, but like it could be.
But that's what I'm saying. All of these theories, this woman has no choice.
Sure.
This woman, not the man, a woman has no choice.
Yeah.
Right. So now a woman has no choice but to get an atom bomb. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's being pushed up against a wall. So, and I will say, I would feel the exact same way where if I have no agency and I have no choice and there is going to be one of my eggs and then the stem cell and then all of that. Yeah, bitch, blow this shit up. Call it a wrap. it's a wrap. And I will say this, when one person has no choice, no one has a choice. When one person is diminished, when one person is struggling, everybody struggles. And that's how I grew up. That's how I live. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a wrap. I would do the same thing. Atom bomb. I don't know. Shoot the whole thing up, to blow the whole thing up. Get rid of the whole thing. Throw it away. We're done. Like that shit like really pissed me. Like it pissed me off so much. It really, because then you see all of the manipulation that Zosha, AKA the Hive, did. It was a whole play. We were talking about that last time. It's a whole game. And Rachel, I don't know why I said Rachel, and Carol was being played through and through, you know? So, and yeah, because, and by the way, like how you're saying in every relationship, it always comes down to like what are we? And like, you never know what's going to happen. I feel like they were like having that relationship, like conversation, but it's like, what are we? Well, I'm going to take your eggs and then take the stem cells and then you will just become one with me.
You'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know what we are.
We will just become one. And it's like, oh, I don't think I want that type of open relationship. I wanted something more monogamous, you know? I think she wanted something more one-on-one instead of
Carol wants to be special.
Of course. Of course, man. Anyway, I just went on a rant.
Well, we get on there's one last thing that happens before they end this too, where she's like, well, if you loved me, you wouldn't do this. Like, if you loved me, you would ask me, you would talk to me, you wouldn't do this. And then Zosha says, well, we do this because we love you. And I'm like, no. Help me. Oh my God.
What a toxic relationship.
That was the most abusive thing I have ever heard. And I'm like, oh my God, hive mind, I was on your side. But then like, oh, that's not.
I'm doing this because great. I love you. Oh.
And listen, I believe Zosha. That is true. Like they believe they're doing it. I believe
that they believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
That they're doing it.
I need a drink after that. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
I need a shot of vodka. Yeah. A real shot.
Tito's over there.
Yeah. We'll do that after.
But yeah.
No, but yeah, Diva, like I just could not believe that.
Yeah.
That was insane.
And I
think I couldn't believe it so much I forgot that she said that. Like I forgot that she said that. Like, and I watched the episode twice.
Yeah.
I really blocked that out.
That is a part where I'm like, it's hard for me because I'm trying to understand how I really feel about that, because, you know, we've heard that kind of language mostly, I think, from like parents to like kids. And to be completely honest, a lot of times when we see this kind of behavior, like kids are naive and shitty and don't fucking know. And like, yeah, sometimes you gotta like,
of course, yeah,
ground them. And it's like, I'm doing it because I love you, because you need to learn a lesson. And it's like, probably, you know? So there are times where we do have to understand, like, yeah, sometimes you do have to, it's tough love, but you have to do it. But hearing it from Zosha, I was like, that's not the way.
I mean, I will
that
say
was
this.
very much like not, that was like, nope, this is an abusive way of using that, of saying that, of telling anyone that your significant other or whatever, that like, this is because I love you. It's such an abusive tactic. Again, I don't know how much they're putting into these things, but we've seen over and over again, these like small little microaggressions and passive aggressive things and these very small abusive tactics that people that in relationships, what do we call it? Like red flags of like an abuse, that you're in a toxic relationship, that you're in an abusive relationship. And that was definitely like hard hitting there, where I would be like, yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all.
That's not right.
That's not what we want to say right now.
I do it because I love you. Yeah, no, I you know, I think we've all have been there when it comes to relationships and tolerating things like that, tolerating all of these red flags, all in the name of love, all in the name of caring about a person. But how can you say you care about someone when you're trying to control them? That's all that is. It's a very manipulative and controlling thing to say. And it's pretty awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's worse. It's like, is that worse as like a one-on-one, or is it worse when like a hive is like telling you that? Like, it's like, I don't know. Because like, I mean, I've had similar conversations with exes about that. I'm like, oh my God. But then it's like a hive mind, like telling you that, just like, oh, dang, maybe it is. Maybe it's what is it? 8 billion brains all agreeing on this. Like, maybe it is good. No, I'm kidding.
No,
it's not.
I think it's not good because this is not what she chooses.
Exactly.
Right.
Period.
That consent actually fucking matters, consent in relationships and continually checking in with that consent. There's continual consent as well.
Yeah.
Right. That
for sure
that we need in our relationships. And it's probably never good to do something because you love them, right? If you're doing something, if you're forcing someone against their will for any reason, doing it out of love never justifies whatever that thing probably is. So I don't know. It was a very heartbreaking moment to hear Zosha say that, because I was like, sad. Zosha, I loved you for so long. And then you have to go and say something like that. I was like, that's not great. That's not good.
Not Zosha. That's the thing.
Not.
That's the thing, man. Like, and I think
I
said
it's the patriarchy.
I know, right? I mean, honestly, it's somebody in the comments said, which obviously, like, I think I've said too, the hive is a reflection of society, right? Like, just like the algorithm. The algorithm is not a thing. The algorithm is a reflection of people. The algorithm is people. Right. So the algorithm is audience, and and it reflects that. And it's the same thing with the hive. It's the exact same thing. It's the collective consciousness of humanity. And unfortunately, it's a bit misogynistic. It's a bit patriarchal. It's a bit, you could say like capitalistic, ruthless, tribalistic as well. So that's what we're seeing is a reflection of that.
I'd put in culty somewhere in there. Culty.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, the hive has always been like a very
of course
cult like
of
being,
course, yeah. Especially like the happiness thing.
Especially the happiness thing. The way that they go about it is like, you'll just join us and you'll know, and just let it happen.
Just let it happen. Just let it flow through.
There's there's also like, the cultish behavior of just that culty behavior, just in that phrasing of like, this is for your own good.
Oh yeah.
This is because we love you. This is like, you have to be within our thing because like, you have to like understand. Yeah. That's cultish. That's cultish.
Church, very
altogether.
Religious. Yeah. Loved it. Okay.
We get one final scene with this whole thing. Well, first of all, we get the great discipline of Manusos like outweighs any sort of like discipline that I've ever had for anything. Yeah. To have to search through.
You were in the military though. What the heck?
I would never, I'm so lazy. He is not only reading up on, radio signals and other things, but he's doing it using English books from the library while also having to consult a dictionary to so he can understand the language that's being used.
Right.
That's rough going.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So the fact that he's in this time is still so disciplined and so very much like on this mission, I think it's just like this wild and good on him, because I think I would have given up. I think if I had to like read the books of like a language that I didn't understand and then consult the dictionary, my mind would be broken like every hour. I just could not do that. It's good that he's on our side, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
It's been like, they were on their honeymoon for like 2 weeks. It seems like, if I got the timing correct, I wasn't really sure. So yeah, they've been gone for a while. So he's just been sitting in that house doing his thing.
At least he's
still surviving. At least he's like, he's given up on like being,
like,
he I think he also knows eventually Carol's going to come back. right? There's something that he knows there. And of course they come back with this helicopter. Again, amazing stuff. Like this doesn't look CGI. There's some amazing, a helicopter carrying it. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it's great.
Of course they didn't use a real atom bomb, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I know. No, but it was great. It was great. I want to like comment also on this whole show, but again, this episode too, like every scene is so drawn out, not in a bad way. It's just, it's not in a bad I don't want it to sound negative.
Yeah.
But I just love that it was like, you hear the helicopter, it gets closer and closer and closer. And then it reveals, and then you see the thing, and then it's like drops, and then you get his reaction and it's there. And then she comes in, and this all takes time. This all takes time. The conversation between him and her and how slow it was with the translator. And you see that it's all in real time. It's all playing out in real time. And there's so much intention behind almost every scene. They did this with the one where she didn't talk at all. Like just everything so methodically drawn out. The first couple of episodes too. I feel like this show, and this is a half-cooked thought, but I feel like the show is definitely trying to say something about time, you know? And yeah, I don't know what, but it's really showing you that like life takes time. Like things take time, and and you're going to feel it, and you're going to feel the passage of time passing in this show. And I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's, Vince Gilligan, this is a style that Vince Gilligan does. So there's like that, him bringing into it. He's very much, he likes looking at these like mundane things and just taking his time with stuff. Yeah. But there's a patience there and a confidence there that we just don't have in our modern, like, filmmaking, especially like the TikTokification of everything, where we're like the short attention spans or whatever, where nowadays we have to make something and it has to like move, right? Yeah. It would have like so many cuts to get to something. But yeah, we hear things. There's a whole lot of patience there, you know, because we have to hear it, because we have to discover the sound with Manusos, you know, and then he has to go out and we have to be thinking, what is this? What is going on? Like as it's happening, like it reveals the information slowly, and where we're on the journey with the characters as it's going on. But yes, I think time passing is very much a thing that is important. You know, I think that Vince Gilligan knows when to show you something and when not to show you something, right? He very much knows when he could cut to something else if he needs to. And I think, again, this guy is such a smart filmmaker, you know, and I feel like if he's showing you something and you're like, okay, get to the point kind of thing, then you're missing the point. You're missing the journey, right? Yeah. If you're bored here, it's because he wants you to feel bored, right? If you're, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying specifically in the scene, but that's a point of it, right? Yeah. That whole long episode, I think where most people are like the episode where Carol is alone, you're supposed to feel that loneliness, and it makes you feel that. And I think that's the people have been like all in the comments of like, this is nothing happens. It's so slow. And like, what a show about nothing. I was like, that's the point.
Yeah. It's just like, it's not everything needs to be plot. Let's get into the next thing. Like what happens next? That is very TikTok, right? That is very much like vertical dramas, right? Yeah. Micro dramas, because that's all plot. That's what it is. It's all story, and it's like hook, story, you know? And I think that's great. And I think those things definitely have a time and place, but like seeing something like that, like seeing something be so slow is, like you were saying, it does give you information. You are supposed to be taking it in. You're supposed to watch her sing in the fucking car. It's annoying. Like it's all character development. It's all a part of it, right? Like it's all, and that episode specifically, it is all meaningless. And the director, the writers are showing you that, how deeply meaningless life is in that moment for her, where at the end she could literally die and does not give a fuck, you know? And that loops again with the atom bomb. It's like, I don't have a choice here. I don't give a fuck. We can just end this. And that's it, you know? So So yeah, I do appreciate the slowness. I appreciate how long things take to communicate, how long it takes for them to communicate. It's great. It's great. It's a journey.
Yeah.
Enjoy the journey, divas.
Yeah. And I especially love like revealing information in a way that feels organic, right? That we learn it as the characters learn it, that we can, in the silences or in the moments where we can piece things together. It gives us time to like piece things together, like even as the characters do it, right? Which I really, really love. And here we're like, what is in that box? Like, what is going on? Like, how's it? And then like,
the
if you're
mystery box.
and if you think about it a little bit, unfortunately, I think this one was spoiled on the internet, so I couldn't have that like moment. But I'm curious, like, at what moment did you like, there's a bomb in there?
I didn't at all. I thought it was the eggs.
You thought it was the eggs?
I thought it was the eggs.
That would have been smart.
Yeah. I was like, oh, these are the eggs, like frozen in this thing or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, these are the eggs. And it's like, no, it's a bomb. And I'm like,
maybe,
that's really
do you
cool.
think it's an atom bomb? Or do you think it's what metaphorical atom bomb?
No, I think it's literally an atom bomb. Just like it was literally a grenade. Like we know now everything is very literal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great.
But she should have asked for her eggs, probably.
Yeah.
Possibly could have been an atom bomb in a way if it's metaphorical, if they are the eggs. That could be the eggs, actually.
It could be.
I'm not even gonna
eggs mixed
I'm
with
gonna say
the
that's a
bomb.
great theory. But yeah, what is seasoning? So I think that Carol, it's like just when we like Carol was like learning some of this, now she's gonna revert back to
now
like
we're
who
back.
she was, because she's like now we what did she say? Now we save the world, or save the world tomorrow, or something, or I was like, oh great, Carol's back.
She's back.
This Carol is back. How do we feel about that?
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I am
glad.
excited.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, it is still a different Carol. I think on the outset, people would be like, oh, she never left. And I was like, no, this is a different Carol. There's a different, she's coming in with a different approach to things, I think is what's going to happen. She's still going to be at odds with Minusos. That's my speculation for like season 2, whenever that's going to happen. Right. That there's the way that they go about things is going to be very, very different, because she does have and has had a relationship now with the Hive. And I don't think she's going to very easily be able to like go back on that. I think there's going to be a difference with how they approach things, how they approach this, war, whatever. And it's going to be in the setup of Minusos being, somewhat, I guess, not misogynistic, but he's a toxically masculine kind of character, butting up with the toxically feminine version of Carol.
Exactly. That's going to be great.
I still don't think that Carol cares about humanity. I still don't think that this is really like what it's about. It's just mostly like it's her own self-preservation at the end of the day. I don't think she's ever like learned that lesson, whereas I think Minusos does in some, maybe he cares about humanity, but it's probably his own selfish things too. He wants the world to be what he wants to, and he probably had his own certain way of doing things and certain amount of privilege, so they're, again, very much the same character,
Yeah,
so
very much.
I don't know how I feel about like these two people being like humanity's, saviors, but it's the best we got, right?
Yeah.
It's what we have.
All we have.
Great. So yeah, what do you, any other speculation about season 2 or any other thoughts on the season as a whole? Now that we're at the end of this, did you feel like it was worth the journey?
I definitely
do.
It feels like a really nice breath of fresh air. I really loved the show. It was very different.
Yeah.
I just think it flipped a lot of things, a lot of like tropey like things that usually happen in these. It completely flipped everything, which I really appreciated, really loved. I think like for next season, what I would like more, and honestly, I wanted more in this season, was more flashbacks, more context as to who these people were. You know what I mean? Like we don't know if Minusos had military training. I think the only reason we know he's from Colombia is because of an interview. Like I saw an interview a couple weeks ago. That's how I don't think they said that.
Smart people who apparently know the accents very well on the internet.
Yeah.
They clocked it. That is very smart of that actor. If he is able to, I don't know if he's from Colombia. I don't know where he's from, but if he's able to, as a Paraguayan, put on a Colombian accent for the character of a show.
Oh no,
in his Spanish.
He's literally from Colombia.
Oh, he's from Colombia.
He is from
okay,
Colombia.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because he was saying, it's like Colombian accent. Like people can really people do that accent.
Yeah,
it's very
I've never known.
Yeah. It's a very it's a very easy-ish accent to do. It's same with Argentinian as well. People almost make fun of it, right? So, but he was saying though, which I didn't know, is that the Paraguayan accent is very, very specific. And it's not, Paraguay is not a culturally I mean, it is, I don't want to say anything against Paraguay, but it's it's not, you don't meet a lot of Paraguayans outside in the world, or you know what I mean? In our media. So the actor was saying that the actor was saying that it is such a niche accent basically. And so, but then Vince told him that no, your character is also from Colombia and you immigrated to Paraguay. So I was yeah, but it's anyway, I think I could do a Colombian accent. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's it's a known one. You hear it a lot.
Yeah.
And then it's also some parts of Colombia are even similar to the Caribbean, just in term in Venezuela as well.
Yeah. Well, I just love that small detail that people did pick up on it.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
actor was able to place that in there where if you're paying attention and you are of this language, you would be able to pick up on it, which is something that I'm not. So again, the culture of the show is so interesting. The fact that they implement these cultural things, is very purposeful, and I can't wait to see more of what that is going to be about as we look into, as we talked about at the beginning of this episode.
And I did want to say, one thing, Diva, I did want to say how amazing it was to see a lot of Latin American representation, very specifically, traveling to Latin America and seeing all of the beauty of Latin America. I loved that. And it's so sad to say, but I do love that Manuso's character is not a stereotype. I love that when we were in Latin America and South America, it didn't have that tint. Oh,
the yellow,
yeah. It's
he's done, which Vince has done.
Yeah, I know. And Vince has done a lot of very stereotypical tropey Latino characters as well. And mind you, they're great. But it's still, it's just nice. And it's just normal. You know what I mean? It's just that's how it should be. A really complex, awesome, beautiful character, the character of Manusos. Seeing that person be a person was just really great.
Yeah.
And a smart person at that. So yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. I hope we delve into all our characters in that way, the ones that we haven't even got to see that much of,
Same, very much.
And understand their cultures. Cause there does seem to be a lot of background that we don't have on any of them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Carol's the most we've gotten.
Yeah, exactly. Then that's why it's I want to see the backstories. I want to go on those adventures. I want to go back to Latin America. It's just, what a vibe. Yeah. Great show. 10 out of 10.
Well, I'm so glad you joined me for this. It's been 9 weeks of podcasting. How do you feel?
Exhausted. I am tired.
It is tiring. Yeah.
I don't know how people do this. This is a lot.
Yeah.
I'm being serious. It's kind of like live streaming a little bit. I've done live streaming too. And it's that same type of exhaustion. It's just that your brain is just constantly thinking and trying to talk. And then you have to talk in nice sentences and you can't say and sometimes you sweat and you wish you had a drink, it's just But I will say that if we should do this live.
Well, we have done that before.
Okay.
I gave up on the live aspect. We'll see someday.
We could do a very, very special episode.
I used to do it on Discord. I used to try and make it very specifically for I wanted to do a Patreon only live stream,
Ooh, that's fun.
And have people chatting. It just became when I brought back the podcast, I was it's going to be too much to try and figure out,
Yeah.
And again, when we're doing this, it's one other element to add, which is really hard to keep up with. When I'm not getting paid to do this. But
yes, right.
Next year, the goal.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to tell you what to do.
Next year, the goal is to maybe figure out what's going on with the podcast. Again, we have one more show we're going to do, and I'm so glad you guys got to meet Natalie. I'm so glad we could do this journey. I know it was a lot. I feel like I threw you into the deep end of like the fucking internet culture because I'm used to the hate.
I know.
on the
I know.
internet.
I was on my hiatus.
This was a lot. This was a lot.
I was on my hiatus. That's why I was like, oh right, this shit again.
Yeah.
And then Instagram is just such a different like type of hate too. Like it's just, they're both hating, but it's like so different on Instagram. I feel like on Instagram it's less funny. Like they're just like, it's like literally like 40 somethings just like miserable with, like there was a guy hating on me. It was like a photo, of course, private account. It was a photo of him and like his 3 children in the background. And I'm like, diva, like what are you doing right now? I have but on TikTok, it's an anime profile picture. There's, the difference. Anyway.
Yeah, it's unfortunately I think Instagram is becoming like one of the reasons why I left Facebook in the first place.
Yeah, it's very much that.
It's one of those things where like I would gladly leave Instagram if it wasn't for the fact that like it seems to be my only way of getting work right now. So that said, the goal is to, eventually have like upgrade the podcast, eventually do more types of content, eventually have more podcasts going on because I know a lot of people want to see movie stuff. I know what some people want to see like other shows that we don't get a chance to talk about because we always have something else. And eventually maybe I can set up a Patreon. That's 2026 goals. We're at the end of the year. It's been New Year's is around the corner. Yes. We've had a really interesting year, but I'm so glad that I got to bring you on. I know that it was a lot, but maybe A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, fingers crossed, knock on wood. I feel like I'm famous last words. Maybe it won't be as bad. Maybe A Night of the Seven Kingdoms won't be as bad.
It's going to be worse.
It's going to be worse, isn't it?
And I'm not trying to be negative, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's just like that fandom is so like.
Do people like anything anymore is the question.
I do not give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Like I am locked the fuck in.
Yeah.
That is like literally how I got my start on TikTok.
Yeah.
Was because of Hot D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to ask you though, do you feel at this point, if we absolutely hated Carol at the beginning, if the scale was 1 out of 10, and we were at a 1, where are you at on Carol at the end of the season?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Are you still at a 1 with Carol?
She's still very like unlikable. Like she's awful, but she's a fucking human being. She has gone on such a journey. I guess like she's technically supposed to be an anti-hero. I'm not really sure even if she is the hero. Any type of hero.
Yeah.
Which I like, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I like that she comes around. And even just today, I was thinking like it's cool that she's a woman, but I'm like, I was so curious to see how it would have been for a man in this role too. Because he would have been such a fucking loser, He would have been such a loser. No, not like that.
I think that's, yeah.
No. It would be Carol, but a man. And it's like,
yeah.
What a loser of a fucking man. Like a drunk, like not like a John Draper drunk, like a real drunk.
Oh yeah.
That his wife would have to like be monitoring him, but his wife is also his manager. So it's kind of like a cucking situation going on in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like this guy's like such a loser and such a fucking like just no spine, you know? I would have loved to see that too.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that.
Real interesting stuff. I never asked you. I never wrote this in my notes, so I totally glossed over it. It's like, do you believe it's evil to value an ant as a man or the same as a man?
Oh yeah, in the show he says that. That was a very like he was like got him like I was like got him. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. It's to me the Hive is evil. Period. because it's literally that. It's anti-human. So why would the life of an ant and the life of Carol or Manusos, like, why are those two things equal? They're not.
Yeah.
And
Does that mean because
that is solely because I am a human being.
Yeah.
And they are not. Like, that's the whole, and they are not human beings.
Yeah.
The humans in there, it's trapped. But anyway.
Yeah. I think, I can't wait to see more of that, because I think that it's like, well, yeah, at the end of the day, like, we are ants. I was like, come on, guys. Like, yeah, it's because I think there's a lot of people that are like with Manusos, and that it's we should value humanity over like ants. I was like, well, but we are. And the hive shows us a lot of times, like, we are.
The hive,
we're just ants. Like,
we are an end to the means. Like, we are the end. Just what what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, we are.
But like history has shown us, like, 'cause I don't think we're any better. Like, history shows us time and time again. If you look at it on like a macro level, it's like, we're just ants. Like, what do we think? Why do we believe that like we are so important that like as an individual can like? And I think I love those kind of like arguments. It's just what I'm saying is like,
but that's the beauty of it. It's like, like, I guess if you macro, you pull back, it's like, we are little specks of dust, like in this like expansive, never ending, unknown, we don't know what's next universe. Right. But that's literally it's a part of what makes us human, is that like we value life like so much. We look, another taboo, suicide. We look down on that. That is like still taboo in every culture, in every religion. Like, you are not supposed to take life or take your own, because it is, we are that special. We do have value to each other. Right. And I think that value expands. Yeah. So
I guess my question is, in the way that he phrases that, my question is, do you think the hive values ants more, or do they value humans less?
I think they value humans like way less. Like, they just, they do not see individuality. They do not see a soul. So how could they value us?
She like bumped her head.
I know.
She's fine.
But she's so, how do they not value this? Actually, they couldn't get to the
they
animals
definitely
either.
They don't value animals at all. My last question, do you think aliens are still going to show up?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's a hope,
that's
but
great.
I do.
Yeah.
I do think they will. In not in like, again, not in the green little guy, or
I'm willing to accept it. Yeah.
I think they're going to show up in some way. And I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. Kepler, come to Earth. They're going to figure it out. Or it could be a flashback. It could be the POV from that planet.
Oh my God.
Be so sick.
If they
that'd be so sick. Like, if they did that shit.
I feel like the mystery, I feel like the moment you do a flashback, like, it's not going to satisfy anyone. I feel like you have to leave it. I feel like you have to leave it. I don't know. I'm interested to see I think that the door is still open for aliens. I will give you that. Like, I think it's wide open for that. They have not yet at all given us a decision on how these things work or anything, which I think is really great. I'm looking forward to season 2. I'm looking forward to talking to you about A Night of 7 Kingdoms. I'm so glad we have this conversation. It's been great. It's been a great fun. 9 weeks.
It has been.
I hope you guys really, really enjoyed this. I know we've gone back and forth on like this whole show, and the some of you out there are like, what is going on here? Do y'all like it? Do y'all hate it? Guys, we love this. We love this so much. And I hope you enjoyed the journey that we went on with Carol and Manusos. I can't wait to see more of it. Do you get anything that we missed? Anything you want us to talk about? I don't know.
Shout out to the haters. Couldn't do it without you. Shout out to the people that, can form an opinion that's not my opinion, but speak nicely.
Yeah. Are you going to join us for Night of 7 Kingdoms? Are you as big of dragon nerds as we are? I hope so. Please join us. Please email us. Please message us and get into TikToks and give us money.
Yeah,
just money. Follow and subscribe, because that's what gets us money at the very least. And then I hope you join us for that, and tell us what we should talk about next. If you enjoyed this, and again, I know everyone out there is saying dark probably right now, but I'm not yet ready to go back to something.
That's okay.
What's coming out new And eventually we'll get to like retrospectives and stuff. We do want to do those things, right? But for now, what else should we talk about besides the Night of the Seven Kingdoms? In the meantime, I hope you join us for that. And thank you again, Natalie. We'll see you then, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Codependent Content. For updates, you can follow us on social media. And if you ever want to see a video version of this podcast, feel free to check us out on YouTube or Spotify. If you have any questions or simply want to tell us about something we missed, you can email us at codependentcontent@gmail.com. Or just leave a comment on TikTok and we'll get back to you. Links to all our accounts, where to contact us, or other ways to support will be in the description or show notes. We're glad you're here and working through your traumas with us. Remember, when you're lost in the darkness, search for the light. Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you. Until the next session, cowabunga, dudes.